next, bitch. Look, I'm gonna need you to take a few steps back, take a breather from all the media and shit. Check it. Yeah, everything you rap about that shit don't matter. Fights. You are nothing but a virtual shit, don't rap about it. Thinking that's the shit we wanna hear. It's getting cloudy cause you wasn't here. What you be listening with, it wasn't ears. You was paying attention to somebody's tracks. That's why we not go listen to nobody back. You not the quarterback to anybody's tracks. I'ma be the one to get the honest facts. Nobody wanna listen to them sloppy tracks. Your eardrums and your brains just might be not attached. And I'ma tell you right now, everybody whack. They be on the internet to search for content. Then they copy every mix it for the birthday jacket. If they got it ghost better than they working options. Putting everything together for the perfect project. That's the reason why hip hop is getting watered down. A oxymoron, how they thirsty for some water now. I'm the shit, bitch already, I ain't got a smile. All you people pleasing rappers, you ain't got a style. How you like me now? Everything you rap about that shit don't matter. Fights. You are nothing but a virtual shit, don't rap about it. Thinking that's the shit we wanna hear. It's getting cloudy cause you wasn't clear. What you be listening with, it wasn't ears. You was paying attention to somebody's chat. That's why we not go listen to nobody back. You not the quarterback to anybody's trap. We know your handler, your Santa Claus in fact. You be hopping on and off of everybody laugh. These rappers say they rapping but they hardly rap. Somebody tell me where is everybody at? Waiting for a narrative to talk about. Just a sign that you ain't got shit to talk about. But you're not gonna be the one to bring the party out. Or be the one to try to take the singing song you out. You lost your motherfucking place in this world, bitch. You lost your motherfucking case and your girl, bitch. Damn, you ain't shit. You can't even rock the scene. Always wanna be on stage, claim you got a dream. I be writing a lot of beans that just gotta lean. Waiting for the day that this ain't where I gotta be. Flight boss, bitch. You artists, y'all be crashing out. Y'all don't even care about half the shit y'all rap about. Yeah, everything you rap about that shit don't matter. Fights. You are nothing but a virtual shit, don't rap about it. Thinking that's the shit we wanna hear. It's getting cloudy cause you wasn't here. What you be listening with, it wasn't ears. You was paying attention to somebody's chat. That's why we not go listen to nobody back. You not the quarterback to anybody's trap.
You're not the quarterback to anybody's trap. And I don't go no further than that. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Where's the game at, though? See, that's what I'm saying. I'm true to the game. I should have played that. I'm true to the game. You know what I'm saying? When you true to the game, you understand where the actual game is at. What actually comes from the game. What actually comes from the game is creativity. You like a representation of what comes from a creative space. Knowing how to move. You know what I'm saying? You may be in a room full of vultures. From a distance, can't tell who is who. Someone could be bright, someone could be dim. You see what I'm saying? But it comes with a whole manuscript. Only God could teach you. You know what I'm saying? Only God could teach you. So if you ain't really in that aspect, you gonna think a game is something that somebody made that's probably GMO. That ain't where the game is at. You could be intelligently book smart. So pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much it. It's going down a little bit. Worry about all that. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, it puts you into a certain manuscript of how to like create a foundation on where you're going to substantiate yourself and place this block, place this little foundry, place this water fountain, place this yard construct. You know what I'm saying? Place this little guardrail. You good to go. You can set up an esoteric fort or whatever the case may be. When it comes to your intellectual property. Now, a lot of people may not understand this because they take in cheat codes. They take in cheat routes. And a lot of times they have to take other people's creativity. Now, here's the thing, too. You know, this is spirituality for the hood. So we can know who's actual players. That it wouldn't be no game if it wasn't them. Then when it comes to what's made up and stuff, we got Sonic the Hedgehog now, we got Pac-Man. That's other stuff. You know what I'm saying? People done looked at other things. We can capitalize the video game tic-tac-toe. You know what I'm saying? We didn't capitalize. That ain't really the game, though. And we ain't gonna make it into some like separate stuff where it becomes into like book smarts versus street smarts. No, it's not that. Or, you know what I'm saying? You can have some book smarts with a little bit of street smarts. You could be some street smarts with a little bit of books. And when we say streets, that don't mean you got some intelligence because you was involved in some negligent stuff that we have created crimes and laws around. No, we're not saying that. We're not saying if you book smart is because you went to all the college routes or you read all the books and you got some foreigner intelligence about something and just how to colonize another land. That's the only intelligence is about. It ain't about nothing else. But you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you got another way how to do it, this way how to do it, that way how to cosplay, this way how to cosplay. You're still copying somebody else's culture. Don't forget that. Other than that, though, you know what I'm saying? We're coming into a circumstance where it ain't got nothing to do with none of that. And when we understand what the game is, for the most part, you can start working on your game. And you bring your sufficient game down here. And for the most part, it ain't a game no more. You know it's real. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, you understand that love you getting is real. That reciprocation you getting is real. That creativity that you able to look at, you know is real without having anyone else have to give you validation for it, for you to get up and try to motivate yourself to think that it's worth going for. You know what I'm saying? And then even when you put yourself up and it don't even get that reciprocation or however the case may be, you know that's not the end all and be all, and that's not the ground means of the non-reciprocation or however the case may be. And you might need to check yourself if that's all you put your effort in for that validation or that expectation, which I call getting lost into the wrong side of things. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, people don't necessarily like to understand the natural protocol on how to learn, just like how you made your organs. But now that you're born, you know what I'm saying, and then you're not on your mother's nipple or things of that nature, you think you okay to go as your body deteriorating anyway and things of that nature. As so forth, your mind also. You know what I'm saying? I got deteriorating mind states. And to get lost in delusions and false realities. Like, it's a lot of things I can speak about that is not even important for real. You know what I'm saying? But based on what humans make important, I just put it all in a box. You know what I'm saying? But at some point, we need to understand what's going on. And also, I know all y'all paying attention to the Pooh Shiesty case or whatever the case may be or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's teaching us a lot when it comes to these things. For regular people, what it teaches on this end is how there could be like small pockets of institutions that's getting money wasted on certain investigations where there aren't any. So even more money got to be put in it to create one based upon whoever being racially profiled and things of that nature. Yet in these cases and in cases where people who already got the spotlight, record deals, industries putting money in their pocket and things of that nature or whatever, and then we got things going on like Pooh Shiesty or whatever. That's why I don't really necessarily care to talk about that, because I don't necessarily see nobody funding people like me or however the case may be that's actually showing people in the hood another way to get seen. You get put in some type of other type of operation or whatever the case. But what this does teach us is, in reality, don't none of these monkeys and humans know what's going on to after a case is already done. If that's the case, it should have been somebody who knew how to mind read Pooh Shiesty before he even did that together. So obviously, don't nobody know nothing was going on until after it's happened in all cases or whatever the case. So whatever little punk stuff be going on online for content creators is just for jokes. But we're getting to a time where it's also a waste of money. So let's not. We all adults. We got to make sense of things of that nature. You have to waste time making up a crime on content creators that is basically becoming racial profiling beyond a joke. Other than people who actually got money in the industry, actually criminals and things of that nature, and don't nobody know what's going on until after something's already done. Something is misplaced. Something is misguided here. Something is misdirected or whatever the case may be, where a common content creator could be seen as a criminal, but you have to create this person to be one in some false way. And you got actual people out here that we don't see none of this technology, nothing happening until something's after something already done. So everything is bullshit to a certain degree also. But beyond that, let's get into hate the game, don't hate the actual player. Now, when it comes into players, smooth operators, smooth criminals, when we talk about esoterically speaking, when we talk about in the real world or things of that nature, when we come to providing things that all the way to the mental construct, when we just speaking, which is what's making YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, one of the most popular things during this particular time, because the average individual and their people and their family actually have something that they actually can speak, and it's actually something that's not broadcasted to them in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? But when we're looking at things in this aspect, in this new time, in this new shift, or however the case may be, when we start to talk about creativity is actually how a person become a player, because you're playing out a role that only God can give you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a manipulation. It's not a lie. It's not a concept. It's not a form of jealousy and some rhetoric put around it in other words to make it seem like it's not these same things, or whatever the case may be. These are things when an individual may be crippled. But when you're getting into actual becoming a player, that's when God can actually use you. And when God can actually use you, you're providing something that makes the world go around. And the reason why I brought up YouTube and things of that nature, because it goes beyond. A lot of y'all may be lost in the flesh and just like tangibles and things of that nature. A lot of y'all forget things you need help with in the mind goes beyond the flesh. And then for the most part, these are gifts that God give other individuals that another individual may lack due to the fact of not having that mental state. And there's a lot of mental states that we can see and compare and contrast, where one may lead down more of a negative road than a positive road, before we get into our biases and our subjectivities and things of that nature. Just how a person be able to take care of themselves if they ain't in no situation dealing with law or not. Is they in a position spiritually, mentally, and physically that they're going to harm themselves or others? And then we have comparing and contrasting examples of individuals that's got a better mind state, that know how to not harm themselves and others, or lessen it up on a percentage scale. What do I mean by that? The most harming you allowing a person to do is forcing them to get off their Beavis and Butthead couch so they can start putting in some effort. And the only thing that they're going to start feeling wore out about is their arms and their legs being used, or whatever the case may be. Other than that, we all like and accept that. That's what we got labor for. That's what we got jobs for and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, I'm going into space, man. You know, I'm kind of blind. This light be blinding me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Well, that. But it makes good clarity for the live stream. But you know what I'm saying? When we start to talk about just the situation of becoming a player, you're playing out a role. Now, this goes with what you're naturally connected to, which you're naturally satisfied with, and will ultimately come together in sync and start to play out as relatable qualities as what we're saying was created from an individual. Now, it ain't what we do, it's how we do it. So we all could be doing something. We all could be moving our elbow a certain way. We all could be moving our kneecap a certain way. But the spirit inside of the mind and body is what's making that one unique other than another one, right? Even if they're doing the same thing or however the case may be. This develops attraction. This develops percentage scales of likes and dislikes, or who you connect with, who you don't connect with, or who you rather accept something from, who you won't, who you would give grace to, who you wouldn't give grace to, or whatever the case may be. All these things is intertwined, and these are things we're supposed to be all understanding in this force field of reality, or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, these is like, you know, being true to the game, because you understand what we're doing. You're making a mind state, and a mind state develops as an organ, not you being in an organ and you developing mind states in order for you to survive or manipulate. That's living backwards. Actual life itself is us making mind states and organs. If y'all not trying to take that serious, this is why you go through those limbos of not knowing what to do, play follow the leader, end up in something, then realize it ain't really truly you, and then you just stay in that limbo until you get old and the things of that nature. And nobody really got time for that when it comes to substantiating yourself and actually getting around individuals where you can feel that sense of communion that you felt when you was inside your mother's womb and things of that nature. That so many humans, you know what I'm saying, start to get born and start to go out in life and separate from and feel disconnected from that same quality, not knowing that that same quality was the same type of energy when you was in your mother's womb. And when you had a sense of communion beyond the stuff that when you have became an adult made you feel like what was important, or whatever the case may be. And it comes in many different layers and many different forms that people may not understand. And for the most part, when you lose this aspect, you lose the game, because it's part of the essential minerals of how you made you in the first place, or whatever. So when you leave that concept, you end up taking that energy and how other humans created it and get lost into actual games that humans created that don't have nothing to do with the game. being true to the game. You know what I'm saying? That ultimately leads into knowing how to move amongst the wind and everything that comes within the light, the wind, and the water, which is human species, people, or whatever the case, to the point that you will come up with a better idea to appreciate a plant or a bug or whatever the case may be before another individual that might be going through something in their life, but they so weak now. And then, you know, a lot of times they really want to take it off on another human. They'll take it off. They'll take it on that ant. They'll take it out on that fly. They'll take it out on that caterpillar or whatever. They'll take it out on that dandelion. They'll take it out on that rose. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. And come up with a bunch of retarded stuff. But that's really a self-damaged individual that want to self-project, but trying to come up with a pretty way of self-projecting. But, you know, it's really just a damaged individual. And we all don't have no choice but to self-project. So when it comes to being true to the game or whatever the case, it's just understanding how things move beyond what other people want to get lost in, thinking how things move because they're only paying attention to how the physical move. But don't forget, if you came beyond the physical, then the physical is acting after something. And if you know the first mechanisms of it, then for the most part, that's how you're able to tweak the game and be true to the game. And then for the most part, become a player, because the game that you present always has somebody substantiated. And this don't have anything to do with fame. This don't have, you could be a nobody and there's a bum underneath the bus station right now that got more game than anybody. You know what I'm saying? I could take y'all to a gas station right now and take y'all to a crackhead or someone that got more game than anybody. So the only thing that you will probably be justifying where they lack game at, that kind of where I kind of place them at sometimes too, is why you ain't have enough game to not be a crackhead or whatever the case may be. But that's a whole different book of the things that, before we get tied into our biases or whatever, and what a person may be saying that got something to do with just the mind, that ain't even got nothing to do with the physical, that just applying that type of conversation to it a little bit, you know what I'm saying, you'll be in your own ego. So, you know, you get examples from people outside of you to be able to understand how to separate out of your own biases in areas where it really count, that a lot of individuals don't think count, because Walt Disney just taught you that that bank account is the only thing that count, or however the case may be. So it'll be somebody at a bus station, it'll be a crackhead at a gas station that probably got mad game that you won't even be able to soak in or be able to see from that perspective, due to the fact of what you setting up into importance in a synthetic game, in a GMO game, or however the case may be. That ain't even got nothing to do with the game. Just got some, that's just come with some type of remixing or whatever, and how can I be a part of it? And if I can't be a part of it, I'm gonna create a cheat code version that I only got the cheat codes and I only could win in or whatever. But we see none of those type of circumstances they don't substantiate themselves for that long or whatever. You know, it's just like a civilization. It leads itself up on some false pretense and crash on just as another lie. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, that's why it's important not to build things on lies. You do stuff for what it just actually is. For the most part, you have no choice but to just come in the truth and direct. But there is no other better way to come at it unless you lack something in some way, shape, or form. And that's when it comes to a person lacking game. So when it just comes into don't hate the player, hate the game, that's like hating life. You know what I'm saying? You might be a man, you might be around somebody, you might get more bitches than you, you got a small dick or whatever the case may be. You want to hate on him or whatever like that. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You got to play some type of other type of role or whatever. Once you get into a circumstance where you want to harm yourself and harm others because of your jealousy or however the case may be, right? Or create some pills or create some other things, right? You going in the opposite direction of what God put for you. You know what I'm saying? And then for the most part, we just got so much of the percentage scale of the world and humans on that end, they don't look at it like that. But it's just a whole bunch of people without no game. So you game haters and things of that nature. So for the most part, the game can only be filtered through players. So when a person ain't got no game, they can only be on the side of hating a player of the game. Then they make up a whole nother concept of how they're a player. But it ain't no real character. It's a caricature. Something of a real player. Just like how y'all got all these rappers out and things right now. These are something like rappers. They're not actual rappers and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? Or these comedians these days or whatever. They want to be something like Eddie Murphy. You know what I'm saying? These rappers today, they want to be something like Nas. They don't want to be their own thing or whatever the case may be. They don't want to be the pilot man. They don't want to be something on their own volition because they don't have no lineage and no culture either. You know what I'm saying? So when you ain't got no lineage or no culture, you set up to not be around no family or whatever the case may be. So you think that do or what's the right route is automatically how Walt Disney told you what it means to become successful. So you get surrounded by a whole bunch of other people without no culture and without no family or whatever the case may be. And 9 times out of 10, these people is feds or something like that. So you need to know these people never gonna have their own culture. That's the only way they can attach themselves to you. So if you a person who ain't got no culture or whatever the case, you gonna be excited thinking that you reaching for something Walt Disney taught you, and you already out of order from life because you don't got no culture and you don't got no family. So you don't really got no substantiated circumstance to be able to decipher between what you actually doing and what is success or not. You know what I'm saying? So when you lack culture or whatever, what you claim success is probably what Walt Disney taught you. That's why so many people want to leave from where they at and things of that nature. And once they get rich, and then they end up being in the same situation, even worse, because they thrown up under the bus because none of it went to the actual importance of what's actually going on. You shouldn't even if you get a lot of money and you got a record deal, whatever the case may be, your money shouldn't be going to, even though I know that's the system, but y'all see it don't work. Paying your money for rollouts and narratives or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Take your money and help out your community or whatever. And not your and here's the thing, we in real time right now. I don't care to see nobody helping out a bunch of strangers. Somebody made that up. Somebody made up concepts for y'all to waste money. All the way down to these charities and stuff. These charities ain't going to these people in these other countries. There's somebody sitting around in some good places and things of that nature and be like, I'm trying to get some money and I got this way to broadcast, hey, if y'all want to feed this third world country $3 per cent or whatever the case may be, pay to this phone company that goes straight to my bank. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. You know, y'all into stuff like that. Y'all ain't in nothing real. That's fake type stuff to me. Just to see somebody because they think they're a rapper or comedian, you doing something for a comedian. I mean, you doing something for a community. Ain't none of them people your cousins. Ain't none of them. I don't care about people doing stuff for strangers and stuff like that. I get excited about people and they doing stuff for their actual people, their actual friends. That's a made up thing when they start to say, oh, this person is something and they supposed to be helping out a whole community. Somebody made that up in somebody's little college, some old HBCU or something like that. That's foolish energy. I'm in real life. I live in a real hood. If I got a homeboy or whatever that case may be, and he just hit the lottery or he came up or something like that, and instead of him helping us and his auntie and stuff like that, he's somewhere talking about, yeah, I'm trying to stop crime or something. And there ain't no crime happening because of that. Yeah, I'm up here. I'm helping the community. Man, that ain't community. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. That's made up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what y'all be lost into. And that's why I never worked for y'all either. And y'all ain't never got y'all people around y'all either. They're saying y'all all separated, thrown under the bus. I don't be wanting to hear people talk about community that be in those type of positions. You know what I'm saying? Because I expect you to help me anyway. So all that feel good talk energy and stuff like that, whatever money you get, I expect you to help you, your auntie, your mama, your parents, your goddamn grandmother. I want to see all that. I don't. Once I see somebody up here start talking about, yeah, I did this on the street, get out of here, dude. That ain't real in real life. That's not real. You know what I'm saying? You wasting money. You know, a whole bunch of people are gonna do something stupid anyway. This is like, just like all that stupid talk about even the drug dealers and stuff, all that stupid talk and things of that nature, as if the crackhead themselves ain't gonna go somewhere else and get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like all that be just somebody, people's stupid aunties, people's stupid uncles and stuff like that. That ain't got nothing to do with no community. That ain't got nothing to do with somebody destroying no community. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That all that is made up delusions. Everything is delusion. Everybody trying to survive. And I don't want nobody doing no crimes or whatever the case may be and stuff. But we ain't about to over exaggerate how I be seeing stuff online about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And until I start seeing some real community efforts or whatever the case may be, and all y'all talking nonsense, man. Y'all just trying to get monetized online, and ain't nobody even looking at y'all, expecting y'all to be helping somebody y'all don't know. So stop talking like that. You know what I'm saying? When I get up here, I'm talking to my people, and whoever ain't my people and they just resonate, that's just how we connect, because that's just how everybody connected back in high school and everything in that nature. Man, once stuff go beyond that or whatever the case may be, and it becomes some old cult type stuff online and whatever the case may be, I always spoke that was weird. I always told y'all that. When I say soul group, whatever the case, I'm talking about my family, and then I'm talking about anybody who just think alike, not us being mixed and mingled and all this, that, and the third. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know where all that came. That's all that is weak stuff that I don't know why y'all start making that popular online. And none of y'all learning from no Aries. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was top shot to Aries. I thought I was teaching everybody independent. If you ain't around people doing the same thing you doing, you no need to be around them and stuff. Like y'all done got lost online. But all that wore off too. All that type of weird stuff wore off online too, because it started pouring off in too many other areas where it become bad business. We see how it's pouring off in areas like hip hop. What they call it in hip hop right now, the phantasm, the fandom, whatever. So now y'all got y'all homeboy J. Cole complaining about these things, Drake complaining about these things and stuff like that, Jay-Z complaining about these things. Then you got a whole bunch of people getting the wrong idea what Jay-Z was saying. I understood clearly what Jay-Z was saying. He worded it wrong though, because he probably got a little bit of he probably paid a little bit to, y'all say he had a bias about something back there a little bit. But I understood clearly what he was saying and stuff. He basically saying that whatever this online thing is, it ain't that. It ain't what we doing in the hood and hip hop and culture and stuff like that. Whatever's going on online, it ain't that. And whoever trying to make it that online, that's the problem, or whatever the case may be. So now everybody trying to decipher it. Is it this institution? Is it just the college people, or is it just that, or is it just paid, or is it K-bots and stuff like that? But it ain't people just becoming smart or whatever. It's just people looking at stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming bad for business or whatever, because now I've been trying to tell people this the longest. When y'all do all that, y'all turn off regular people. When there's so many of us regular people watching, we make up YouTube, not the bots. So when the bots try to destroy us and use actual agents in real life to destroy us, and then try to flip it and then try to sell it, and y'all actually supporting these artists also, it's like it become counterproductive. Because it becomes like the same tactics you using to support your artists, y'all using to destroy the actual customers and the audience with some other mind game going on. Thinking y'all can control people's minds or something, or this or something, or that or something. It don't be having nothing to do with none of that, man. It just be people, consumers, and then y'all got a bunch of virtual signalers online right now. And that's it. It really don't go no further than that and stuff like that. And then it's like, wow, who is in the business of destroying the audience and the customers and getting jealous of the audience and the customers and then trying to make it seem like it's something else? That's where the crashing is coming from. So it makes regular people uninterested to be involved in all capacities: business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. For an example, right? I got my stuff turned off. But even if the bots or the fake bots try to act like they bots or whatever the case may be, right? I'm trying to teach them something. It don't have anything to do with me. The majority of the world ain't content creators, but they also smart. They don't want to go on people that they watch page and see people crash out for reasons that they think that they're convincing the audience, where the content creators is the audience also. See what I'm saying? So when y'all do a bunch of fluky stuff and make y'all sales targets from people y'all don't know, just people in the audience, people, family members and stuff like that, it's almost like a retarded mission. It's like a crash out mission. It's like, hey, let's expose this what we do to people. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, what? That's dumb. Who does that? That's like in the business of crashing out or losing money or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that on rappers. Rappers feeling like that now. Everybody in the industry, and it's bad for business. You know what I'm saying? That's like how my channel been for the past, well, really 5 years, but that extreme for 2 years. So it's like everybody already know. I don't have to over talk about it no more. Like, especially in my real life, I'm tired of hearing other people bring it up. But it's like that. Somebody will make an agent group of all about me and say, hey, all right, let's all do a sign up on me. And then while doing that, lose the credibility of every real person that's watching me. You see what I'm saying? So these people will be doing it like they're making jokes and stuff like that. I should have left my comments over. Like it's jokes and doxing and stuff. Wow, real people, family, and everybody watching and stuff like that. And it become distasteful in other areas beyond just this. Right. So when it's time to get into like things like business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics, there's a stain in the world right now in America beyond whoever invested something to do that dumb stuff online or whatever the case may be. Especially on my page, that was too extreme. It shouldn't have been that extreme. You know what I'm saying? There was no reason to do that extreme. But yet nobody knew Pooh Shiesty was getting ready to do that to Gucci Mane. Nobody knew all these rappers before they got shot. Nobody knew all these crimes that happened after the fact, but oh, agencies are so intelligent because we could come up with trying to make up criminals. You know what I'm saying? That's dumb. You know what I'm saying? But when you got too many soccer moms looking at that, people's mothers looking at that, people's family looking at that, that's involved with what they got going on, especially my page, but the countless of other people's page. It don't even make the basketball dude that's coming out talking about Jesus sound right now. Just like everybody looking at this, like, I know we ain't about to talk about that. No, we ain't. So now it's like we're getting to a point where we're separating ourselves so we can clearly see only people about to be talking about this pop culture stuff. Anything in pop culture is people in pop culture. There ain't nobody in real life about to give that no importance until y'all stop playing fluky games with real people. You know what I'm saying? Nobody caring about none, because the whole thing is about attention. But ain't enough players that's good with the game that's worth giving attention to. So this is a bunch of extreme narratives being played out in all capacities. Hip hop, any capacity you can think of, just retard humans. You know what I'm saying? Struggling, trying to get some money. Other than that, though, back to reality, though. You got to be a player. If you ain't no player, it ain't no, and nothing gonna make no sense. You're just gonna be somebody trying to create a caricature of somebody else's player. You know what I'm saying? And you got to stay true to the game. That's false. Don't nobody want to go to hell. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a player for God. Now everybody don't believe in God, but you going to get some game from somewhere that you ain't nobody taught you. You got from yourself, and you want to claim you got it from yourself. That's cool. Everybody can't do that though. Everybody can't say I got game. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could probably sit somewhere and say I play chess real good. Somebody could be somewhere I do business real good. Somebody could say you ain't got no game. Damn sure ain't got no game. A gang is something when you. Pardon me, when you do something and it don't matter what position in life you is, that ain't got nothing to do with the GMO, right? It's rock solid game. Nobody could disclose it. I'm saying nobody could try to throw it and put it in some other body that's good creative, so it's able to be filtered through all areas when it comes to what makes the world go around. You know what I'm saying? Whether it got something to do with clothes, a mentality, you know what I'm saying, a mouthpiece full of game or whatever the case, a way of doing something, a way of discipline, a way of chastity, a way of vanity, a way of, you know what I'm saying, all kind of things, a way of obedience. These be all one of a kind that a person ain't never seen before. They ain't never know you could do obedience in this area. They ain't even know obedience was a thing you could play out in that life, in that area. They ain't even know chastity was a thing you could play out in that area. They ain't even know vanity was something that even had anything to do with this area of life you playing it out in. You know what I'm saying? They got nothing, you know what I'm saying? Nothing to do with nothing. That's game. Everybody ain't got game like that though. It is hate. They ain't hate on the game, you know what I'm saying? But that show you who hate on God. Whoever hate on God's players, and they hate on the game. Now, some people could make up games all day down here. We got wrestling, we got chess, we got all, but that ain't game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times these things is set up. You have to learn piece by piece how the playbook is. You know what I'm saying? So you really ain't no game. You ain't really nothing like that. You're going along with something in an orderly fashion. You do it in the right order or whatever the case may be, then whatever was made at the ending as the outcome that's positive, if you did it the right way, then that's how you call it that you did something. But I don't want nobody calling these things game. You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't true to no game. You know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to really understand that game gets filtered out through things that make the world go around, not things that you got to take or rob and steal parts of the things that somebody else who was a player, you know what I'm saying, make the world go around. That, all the way down to the mind state. You ain't got to take nothing. You got game, you ain't got to take nobody else's mind state. A mind state make the world go around and make you take that mind state, use it in your life and make your whatever you got going on work through a little bit more sufficiently or whatever like that. That's game. Or whatever the case may be. Many people lack that. You know what I'm saying? Many people, this is that whole concept where a person may need books. Ain't nothing wrong with books or whatever the case may be, but just know you trying to get some game. You trying to get some game from a player. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It don't really go no further than that. And ain't nothing wrong with getting no game from a player, but we got to understand that's what it's about. It's about awareness and creativity, and you have been given a gift from God that you can play out a role, and that role was helly because ain't nobody, this God's creation is one of a kind, it's unique or whatever the case may be. So for the most part, it's showing as an example what God children are and who ain't God children. You ain't got the gift of creativity, if you ain't got the gift of to spark one of those qualities that make the world. Now by default, women got a piece of this on their body by default, so they got a head start in front of men. a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They got the right movement, left shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Left shoulder, right wrist, elbow movement and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Right butt cheek jiggle. All I said is right. There's certain things and qualities. There's power in the jiggle. Certain qualities that got a head start. All of them don't use it in the right area, though. You know what I'm saying? Some join institutions, some get lost, some join the police force and start looking like Homer Simpson. You know what I'm saying? However the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen that T.I.? You know what I'm saying? When T.I. got locked up just for trying to get in his own building and stuff like that. His own home area and stuff, that gated community or whatever. He went to jail because Jamaican dude was asleep. Old Jamaican dude talking about Dato thing. Whatever you said, old Jamaican dude was sleeping something. That was real foreigner problems right there. I ain't gonna front right there. I'm on T.I. side right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going. I'm on T.I. side right there. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? They went on there to see those chicks in there in Atlanta. You know, all them Atlanta chicks ran through. Every CO in Atlanta ran through. Any chick, CO, and lawyer, goddamn, anybody. What's her name? Well, I'm saying, real stuff. A lot of these people was trying to like get over that whatever stain they got on their names, so they could start getting respect in other areas that don't matter when it comes to American culture or something like that. Other than that, everybody like dick and pussy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're a female, you're a man, you growing up, you like dick and, you know what I'm saying? You ain't past that like nobody else. I don't care what race you is. I don't care what ethnicity you is, and it just depends what area you was in. The higher the percentage scale. That's pretty much it. Ain't nobody past that, though. Everybody got to pass it. I don't care who you is. You can get a see. You can work for the fans all you want. Booty holes was played with. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all legs was bent over y'all shoulders and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear all that. I don't hear all that. I'm a grown ass man. I don't hear that. All that. I don't hear all that. But other than that, you're human. Act like it. Yeah, a lot of people be lost and stuff like that, but it's about the game. And people are just people. And people want money. And people want to substantiate themselves to have a roof over their head, clothes on their back, and food on the table and stuff like that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And here's the thing when it comes to online and content creating. If you're an unknown artist and stuff like that, right? Don't let nobody put you in a position to make it seem like you a criminal and you ain't a person that's actually showing individuals honest ways of how to do stuff. When it's many dishonest circumstances, even through they loopity crimes, that we actually see that they don't know nothing going on till after it's done or whatever the case may be, right? If you were just up and coming, don't let nobody put nothing on your mind state. Don't let no group of agents, nothing. Like, you make everything direct, out in the open, so everything is justified and don't have nobody making you feel like you a criminal out of your creativity. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got people rooting for you. You got your family and everybody rooting for you and things of that nature. You just got some strangers trying to make up something that money could be going towards something for real. You know what I'm saying? But we don't ever see that, right? We only see things after they was at Rihanna's house, after they was at Britney Spears. Nobody want to hear all that. You know what I'm saying? Where's all these extremists and stuff like that? They got phones just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? They got these circumstances. They got cameras everywhere, just like everyone else. Why we don't see no camera footage leading up all the way to homegirl being at Rihanna's house or something like that? But we want to invest times into non-criminals online because they up here trying to make a way, and that's the only way them and their family know. Like, what kind of shit y'all on? Like, y'all on, folk? You know what I'm saying? We get more back into helping energy, and that's why the hood and culture is such a potent concept right now, because in reality we seem like we the only ones helping. You can't get online and say what you doing or even be in people's comments like, oh, what they're doing to you is wrong or whatever the case, if we got actual people in our real life that's actually picking up stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes into what we see in real life, amongst if I need or other people need help or other and all around the world or whatever the case may be, what's ever going on, you have people, friends, family, and stuff like that in real life trying to make things work and happen. You can't even be online right now talking stupid if you ain't got no culture or whatever the case may be, because all this stuff we going through and stuff like that and been put in these boxes. Especially like online, like how content creators are seen. It's like they're seen like aliens or something. Like they're just a person with nothing. You had a few retarded people that was online that just try to I guess that was their only way, and they synced a little bit of money, so they got a little crazy with it or whatever the case may be. But they still was associated with people or however. But for the most part, we're just going through a time right now where all those situations and real people in real life having to actually do things. We have real things going on. We ain't got no time to be having nobody talk about what they think is going on, what they hearing out of people's mouth, and you ain't going through it or whatever the case may be, and you ain't on the ground with us or whatever, right? And especially if you ain't got no game, you like you somebody just trying to get monetized or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got time for all that, whatever. Be you and be cool. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody just need to do, man. Just be you and be cool. All that other stuff is like weirdo shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is weirdo. Everything else is weirdo, stuff like that. Just be you and be cool and jump into your creative aspects. That stuff that make the world go around. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even always got to be the actual creator of these things of that nature, but a face for it or whatever. For an example, you part of someone, group of people, they got this to sell, they got this candle, or they got this goddamn clothing, or whatever the case may be. And you just a model. Okay, that's good enough or whatever. But these are things that make the world go around. Everybody who make the clothes can't model. Everybody who could probably buy the music equipment can't be the vocalist. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't, so it's about a team effort. It's about a work or whatever the case may be. But if everybody ain't about to be more invested into that or whatever, then what is we doing and what is we talking about? There's no moving forward and there's no substantiated circumstance that make people motivated within America to start producing things or whatever. Then y'all got to start arguing about things that we ain't producing anyway. So we start to go into taking and stuff like that. No, America, everybody should be in some form of producing, whether it's music, entertainment, education, religion, politics, however the case it may be. When I say politics, I'm just mean this politicking over, do you got a jean factory? You know what I'm saying? Do you got a coat factory or whatever? Do you got a tire changing factory or whatever the case may be? These are things that we all can substantiate in all of our little cities, all of our little states or whatever the case may be. So it doesn't matter, foreigner or whatever the case may be. Everybody got some substantiated circumstance that people trying to get their 1-2 together in an honest way. And I don't think it should be a problem with that. And it's like seem like we're creating problems over people just having ideas in today's time. And that's retarded. If we having problems based off lack of ideas, there's no fruitful ideas to develop anything for any landmass to be fruitful, regardless if people want to play mind games and make up delusions. Well, it's really this, it's really that, it's really about this, or it's really about taxes, whatever. Ain't shit about to be shit if ain't nobody producing and everybody broke to not buy nothing, period. Ain't no game, ain't even no synthetic game gonna work. How they even got y'all even in the politics area. That game ain't gonna work if it ain't got nothing to do. If everybody broke and ain't no product being produced for people to buy, and if everybody broke and can't buy it, China ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Iran ain't gonna be able to do nothing. America ain't gonna be doing. British man ain't gonna be able to do. If it ain't no money, ain't nobody gonna be able to do nothing. And I ain't never seen no business in the business of losing money. You know what I'm saying? Period. So I don't know what be going on and stuff like that when everybody could go ahead and get their substantiated 1-2 together. And then for the most part, start building themselves up and stop worrying about a whole bunch of stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, because where it really counts is stuff, right? When you in these times, when you need your tires changed, when you in these times, you need to go to the dentist, when you in these times, you need a heart surgery, when you in these times, y'all need to go to the clinic. You know what I'm saying? When you in these times and stuff like that, you always got to complain that things ain't right or whatever the case. And these should be things y'all should be motivated on building yourselves on, getting gas stations, and, you know what I'm saying? Getting little apartment complexes and things of that nature. Start having your whole little family and stuff like that in there to make things a little easier so people can have their time to produce the products that makes the world go around. And if everybody producing product, and that makes bargaining and exchanging much more sufficient, no matter what gadget we're using to do that with, whether it's paper money, whether it's electric money, or whatever the case may be. Don't nothing move if it ain't no goddamn player game being played. All these GMO games ain't about nothing. It's investing and losing money. That ain't about nothing. If you gonna get real, then that means let God players work. And when God's players work, there could be games to be sold. Ain't no game to even be sold right now. It's just old outdated. We tired of playing Bomberman. We tired of playing Mega Man. You know what I'm saying? We tired of watching Superman and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. It ain't about switching these things up either. It's just about where's the game. We got too many people lost in things that ain't got nothing to do with nothing in reality, but trying to make it reality. And the things that actually got to do with reality, y'all trying to make it like it's not, or whatever the case. And that's why it's just so many of y'all with no game. It's just so many of y'all with no game. So none of y'all know how to move y'all left, right elbow or whatever. It don't matter what race, ethnicity. There's a certain way when you got game. Your left knuckle cap move a certain way or whatever the case may be. You got it or you don't. You always can learn it though. You always can go get the sauce somewhere at an esoteric Walmart. Esoteric Kroger's, the Dollar Tree or something like that, or $5 below or something. You know, I said $5 below. Y'all can go get it. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta go in it, you gotta go deeply dive in and be like, where's the game at? You know what I'm saying? You probably lost in playing video games right now. You probably lost in goddamn GTA right now, whatever the case may be. You probably lost in whatever. But for the most part, when you understand the actual game, you'll probably be colder at Grand Theft Auto. When you understand the actual game and stuff like, you probably stop playing Grand Theft Auto after a while. You'll be too busy in some other. You see what I'm saying? But that's the game that God want to give the players. And the players play out a certain role. And that certain role at sometimes can't be bought. Saying sometimes that role can't be sold. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can't even be in no gold exchange back in the goddamn office or nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just so sturdy and firm or whatever the case may be. You don't know what to do with it but admire it. You know what I'm saying? Probably wish you had it around your neck or something like that, or around you at times or something like that. It's admirable, but that's it. That's the far as the now. Many have chopped up the game and put it in profitable places. Many have chopped up the game and been an example of it. You know what I'm saying? Many chopped up the game and stayed in the back blocks, you know, stayed in behind the scenes, stayed behind the curtains, you know what I'm saying? Many chopped up the game and was on Front Street, lights, camera, action. Many chopped up the game and put it in a book. That's why I be telling y'all sometimes ain't nothing wrong with a book, especially in today's time, audio book. You know, people's attention span, y'all get tired moving your eyeballs too much right and left or whatever the case. Some of y'all get tired breathing. So, I got to take another breath and stuff. How you get that lazy or whatever? But y'all said a lot of people just chopped up the game, put it in a lot of different. I chopped up the game and put it on a YouTube page right now, and that got hated on. You know what I'm saying? People got lost in the mind so much. Made it something in their own mind and stuff like that, and got lost in miscellaneous fart cloud land and stuff. And I be having to bring people back to reality. So, no, this reality. This is my train of thought will allow me to present what you do see creative from me, my music and stuff like that. When you listen to my live streams, you're getting a mind state of, oh, this where he at when he come up with his creativity. Not for you to be, oh, in his mind, this guy. Then you got other agencies, he might think like this. Let's play this role. And wait a minute, stop. Do y'all got family? Do y'all got friends? Do y'all got a culture? Or is you separated from your family and friends and you done made a cult out of your culture and then you done made yourself a target? Which one? You know what I'm saying? They probably got to chill out. You know what I'm saying? Chill out. That's not reality. That's not real life. Don't go wasting your money to become a target. You know, thinking you making somebody a target like someone lost in some fluff. No one cares about laws or none of that when it comes to reality, man to man. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, the person to sit in jail and smile. Nobody care about that type of stuff. When we talk about life, people have to come to reality. Y'all lost in fluff. It's imaginary. Walt Disney. No one cares about that. Not even in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and throw all that out the way. Off right. You play reality. That's it. Or you just ain't got no game. You try to make someone believe your game. It's GMO. A lot of people been betting over football. A lot of people betting over basketball and basketball come back. I remember it was a big time with Nancy Kerrigan or whatever like that. She pushed homegirl over the ice skating and stuff like that. It was ice skate over Muppet Babies or something like that on Disney. It was something like that. It was on Fox News. It was somebody harmed somebody else. It was a big story. She had no business pushing homegirl on the ice skates. She had no business. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of stuff. People be jealous. People be jealous. Homegirl ain't had no game. The Nancy Kerrigan, whatever was her name, she had no game. Whoever did what, the one did some harm, she harmed herself and harmed somebody else. Harmed her own career, harmed the homegirl who was being a player for God, playing out a role, sliding real good over the ice skate. You know what I'm saying? This is hate. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get out of all that energy and stuff like that. Find God game. You could become a player. And then once you do that, you ain't got to hate the player. You can hate the game if it's not working for you. You might be in a situation where God haven't made you a player yet because you ain't listening to God. You might have been listening to another human. You might have been listening to, you know what I'm saying, someone who ain't had a game, took the game, put it in a book, someone else who ain't had no game recommended that book to you. So the blind leading the blind or whatever, you might have been in that type of situation or whatever case. So, you know, you can see this in your day-to-day, especially if you're from the hood. You can see this. Muslim, one monkey tree, now a Hebrew Israelite. The Hebrew Israelite, one monkey tree, now they Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? So you can see how it play out in the hood too. You know what I'm saying? Jump from one monkey's tree, you know what I'm saying? Low parts of the branch where fruit be hanging at and stuff. Like, but you be seeing it and stuff like that, but sometimes, because they jumped in one thing, one dude ain't had no game. It's like, hey, get in this, boom, boom. He became a Hebrew Israelite, right? Then he start realizing, sometimes by default, life will take you through changes and God give you some games. Start thinking, this Hebrew Israelite, shit. You know what I'm saying? Another person, you read it to another person selling an instant deodorant candlestick, or whatever the case, out the trunk. You know what I'm saying? Boy, he turned to Nation of Islam, whatever the case, they got into that. Start combating them. Now they going to war online or something like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know, but you know, I'm pretty sure it is. You can never fail anytime you're around booty butt warriors. Yeah, anytime somebody bow tie too tight, they start getting eczema and arthritis around the thyroid and the Adam's apple and stuff. You know these cats don't be acting like they panties in a bunch when they're around each other. You know what I'm saying? That's what they be saying. Hidden in secret. Yeah, they act cool when they on the camera. Behind closed doors, cats be arguing. You know what I'm saying? One dude be broke. One dude got to pay his child support. You know what I'm saying? One dude trying to rob the community blind to get his car fixed. I mean, all kind of stuff going on. All kind of. One dude just gave 10 females STDs. All kind of stuff going on. All kind of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking on that tuxedo, whole pound of hot sweat. You know what I'm saying? Coming underneath their arms under their white collar shirt. That. You going through hot sweats at night on white collar shirt. Lift up the tuxedo. I got the white collar shirt. A little pound of sweat. Pound of Hebrew sweat. Pound of Nation Islam sweat. God damn. I love y'all. I love everybody. It's hard to do that online though. You know what I'm saying? There's so much hate online and stuff like that. You can't even be the regular person that know how to separate your biases and teach everybody else how to do that and have everybody still be on some we back to creative times or whatever the case. But you can't ever do that. You got people jealous because they ain't got no game. They ain't got no game or nothing like that. So they still walking around in Jesus flip-flops and sandals this cat was wearing back in the 1300s and shit. Well, I'm saying, these cats, maybe in 2026. Way in 2026, man, you gotta get some new game, new washing machine cycles in your brain and stuff like that. So that's what it's about. The game is about, it's creativity, and it gets filtered out through the things that make, and I'm gonna do a live stream on the specifics, because it's a mechanism. You can start today. The sooner the better. Start working on the things that make the world go around. And then you will start to see how attractive you are. This is things that just fall out the air. No matter how you want to direct your energy. I know a lot of y'all want to direct it into, hey, what about the money? That might fall out the air too. You know what I'm saying? It might not fall directly out the air, but it might be those thoughts you got out the air that bend in, start becoming your actions. You'll start to find ways to get it, and you'll start to realize that may have fell out the air. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be in that space. But I don't want people to just be trying to look at it from that perspective, you know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to really manifesting, not what they're trying to steer that word into, when y'all really want to materialize, manifesting is just obtaining the ability, the idea that filtered through a creative attribute, and then you start to materialize yourself. You put it to work, you put it to action, and if you direct that in the right area, that thing that you directed it in is going to be in sync and relatable to something that's in order, the spirit, mind, and the physical, then the external. Then therefore, all spirit's going to be attracted to it by unrenowned reasons, beyond the reasons that's already condensed in the third dimension through our biases and what Walt Disney may have taught us was successful, or whatever the case may be. That's just one layer. And don't get lost into that layer too, because for the most part, you may take those steps like you're doing something in order and reach a finish line, but then you still feel unfulfilled. And that's how we got so many millionaires that still used $1 million to harm themselves and others, other than be in a position that they can help themselves and others, and whatever the case may be. So this is why these things exist. You got people with game, and you got people who ain't got no game. You know what I'm saying? But the game always could be out there for a person to go out there and learn. And that's a personal journey. And whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it a game, whether you want to call it the universe or whatever, it is an existence of how things work. And every time we find how something works, it makes things much easier when we didn't know how it worked previously or whatever. And y'all just don't broaden that up into mentalities. Y'all just want to, I learn how to goddamn put the bread in the goddamn oven to make easy baked rice or whatever the case may be, so I know how to do it tomorrow or whatever the case may be. That's some physical stuff. You know what I'm saying? What about mind states construction and stuff like that, where certain mind states you could develop right now that certain days was better than other days, but due to the fact of that lack of energy. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a thought form you could jump right back into that make that next day that was harder a little bit more easier or whatever the case may be, that ultimately still leads into you being in order and you being in a physical representation of that also or whatever. So you already know you out of order if that's already an aspect. You know what I'm saying? Or you're like, oh, this situation and the way I think ain't gonna change it or whatever the case may be, because you was never using your actual thoughts to do your actual actions. You was doing some other thoughts to do some other degenerate stuff that led into some other degenerate actions, and now it's hard for you to get out that little box. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, that's all it was. It still came from your thought. You just made yourself into an opposite direction. Now you distant from something. That little communion that you felt when you was inside your mother's womb, you was connected to something. You feel disconnected. So for the most part, that you disconnected from the game. That's all it is. You didn't got lost into the maybe Sonic the Hedgehog or some maybe Contra. You know what I'm saying? Some Call of Duty or some Halo. You know what I'm saying? Not Halo. You got lost in Halo. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, it was all made up or whatever the case may be. But what was in reality is, oh, you paid for it. That's what was in reality. What was in reality, especially once we got updated and stuff like that, before you can even go to level 2, you got to buy the DLC, downloadable content. That's what we do know. Now, anything you done made up about it, if you're an online content creator, then got on, made a narrative about it, that's one thing. I mean, that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? The reality of it, you bought it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody sold you something, you bought it. Now, that something could be a dream, could be hope. You know what I'm saying? It could be a lot of things. It wasn't a game, though. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a game. But what you got was this GMO game. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know how to separate these games. The game that God give you, you already a player. You know what I'm saying? You might be in that game so much, it's hard for you to even manifest and reverse playing a video game down here. You know what I'm saying? It gets, after a while. But every now and then people like to enjoy themselves, so ain't nothing wrong with it or whatever the case may be. But don't ever not understand where the actual game is at, so you can be an actual player. So an actual player is the only person who actually got advice, who actually got solutions, who actually got the creative attributes of something. So in their mind, they don't really care how they look at times. They don't care about the position that Walt Disney may have taught people what it means for you to have that look or whatever, that somebody else who ain't had no game was saying, well, I'm going to make a game only y'all can win, and this is how you're supposed to look for it to win or whatever. They going to be copying pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to have the creativity and whatever the esoteric studio warrants it to be. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain song that we all supposed to play out in sync and relatable. A lot of people don't even know where that's at. They like, where's that at in the mind? You got to point to it. We got where's science? Can we lift it? Can we weigh it? Whatever. I wish we thought that before your father stuck his Peter Pecker inside of your mother's melted meat taco. Oh, sad real stuff, because we really would have discovered some stuff like, you know, how to, your type of brain don't have to come down here. No, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because people be thinking crazy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't take a lot for your father to get horny. It ain't take a lot for your auntie to get horny. It ain't take a lot for it. It ain't take a lot for it. I don't even know how a lot of y'all had kids. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. But I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Y'all stay spiritually protected. Fight about me, you know. For sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I am the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. So up on that. Rector swore. He'll hold that yellow. Ooh. Massasoit. Mama the toy. Hee hee. Woo. Master Psychic. Master Psychic.